What's up, everyone? It's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm getting dressed up. We got the Chiefs against the Buccaneers. We got a slew of amazing guests on today to kind of break down this game and talk about it and some other stuff. We got a bartender on to give you some awesome drink ideas that you could do if you're at home by yourself or, whatever the case may be. So I'm excited for this, man, and I'll be breaking through. But real quick, as far as COVID-19 goes, all the players have been cleared of COVID-19. The Chiefs did have a scare with a barber that tested positive that had like the entire team in there at the time when he tested positive, but he's cleared, or the team has cleared the test, and they're all active, ready to go. All right, guys, let's get into our first guest, though. He's actually a high school friend of mine, and he is opening a bar up in the Pacific Northwest soon. He'll talk about that on there, though, I'm sure. He goes by Risky Bartender, so let's go ahead and tune into that and see what drinks he's got made for us. Well, welcome in, everyone. We're getting into our Super Bowl party here, and no Super Bowl party would be complete without some drinks. So we got my buddy here. We actually went to high school together, Nathan Little. He's also known as Risky Bartender. Yeah, so you guys follow him on his socials. He'll put them out here in a minute, but he's gonna show you some drinks that you could make for your Super Bowl party. Make sure you guys are safe with coronavirus. Follow your whatever your state says to do. So small gatherings or whatever. But even I'm probably gonna be at home with my family having some drinks. So Nathan, so where can people find you real quick?
Well, as of right now, I'm at Side Street in Burien. It's a nice spot. The owner, Dan, is one of the nicer people on the planet. He's been letting me out. I'm opening a bar in White Center close to it called Lariat Bar.
Nice.
With my two partners, Stephanie and George. They're like two of the best people on the planet. If you ever want to start a business, please find partners like them because they're fantastic. But yeah, we're opening our own bar in White Center. It's a wrestling themed bar. So 80s, 90s wrestling themes. There's no
That's
wrestling
awesome.
inside, so it's not a problem. But yeah, we are TBD. We're very soon. We're just waiting on regulations to open us up. We want to keep everybody safe and make sure everybody's good. But we're just happy to open up in the White Center and invite all crowds.
And how perfect is it that we're actually recording this the night of WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, exactly. I talked to my partners. They were too busy watching WrestleMania. They said, "Don't worry about it. We'll watch it later."
Yeah. So, what drinks you got for us, man?
So today I went through a couple. I researched the best cocktails for Tampa Bay and for Kansas City because it's Super Bowl,
Yeah.
And the first one is from Tampa Bay, and it's oh, no, I'm sorry. Actually, I went with Kansas City first because it was closer to my heart. So I looked through a bunch of stuff. In Kansas City, it's bourbon. There's a lot of fun stuff there. It's like very classy, really historical cocktails. But for me, it had to be the Caribou Lou. Because
nice.
Tech Nine was my guy when I was a kid, man. That's all I listened to was Tech Nine. So
right, man, and I remember definitely not in high school because I wasn't 21, so I didn't drink. But if
of course,
yeah,
not on Whidbey Island, we didn't do that.
But I did at one point in my life. I would go buy a brand new like 1 gallon gas can, and then make Caribou Lou into that, and then just drink straight from that brand new one.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
Gotta have Tech Niner in the background. It's mandatory.
Always.
So it's this, and most of these too. All three of these. It's all stuff you can either have at home, run a quick run to the liquor store if you don't have a spot. It's all really easy stuff. Specifically, this one, it's an ounce of death to begin with. So it's an ounce of 151. If anyone ever tells you to get like a specific brand of 151, it's all gasoline. It doesn't matter. So as long as 1 second.
No problem.
This could have been done earlier.
Oh, you're good. I'm gonna clip this out so it'll just go right to it.
Oh, perfect. All right. So a jigger, I mean, when you've been bartending a long time, you can just count. But then again, the world has changed a lot into specific cocktails. So this one side is 1 ounce. So 1 ounce of liquid death. It is 151. 1 ounce coconut rum. Also, I know the song says Malibu, but once again, it's flavored rum. It's not necessarily going to be too important what brand it is. So it's a pandemic. You might as well save your money.
Coconut rum just doesn't flow with the song.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is Largo. Largo Bay wouldn't have worked. So 1 ounce of coconut, 1 ounce of 151, 4 ounces of pineapple juice.
Yeah, I have to say your drinks are a lot more measured than mine were when I was younger.
You know, it's funny too that I know I'm one of many bartenders that felt this way. Is it like, especially with the first round of the pandemic, we were all significantly worried that when everybody came back, that they'd be coming back to the bar like, there's no alcohol in this. Like, no, there's the legal amount of alcohol. You just have been pouring 5 ounce cocktails in your house for the last few months. You know, it becomes a bit on the dangerous side. But you know, that is just what it is in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quick and easy. You just pop it on top. Pop it on top. Just shake quick.
Nice. Yeah, you don't need a shake weight when you have one of those.
A long time ago, as a baby bartender, that it's always son of a gun. Well, this is a new shaker, and this is what this looks like now. Give me 1 second. Oh, Jesus. There it is.
I'm glad this isn't just me that this happens to.
I'm happy that it happens to somebody else besides me.
Yeah, I have a shaker downstairs, and it gets stuck all the time.
Yeah, I'm just going to be able to use that now. Please. All right. That's happened to all of us from time to time. Just different shaker. But anyway, you just want to shake a couple times. Make sure it doesn't end up getting watery. And then it's just a simple all the way to the top as far as you can get. You know, add a couple more ice cubes if you haven't got all the way to the top. That's a pretty easy way to go about it.
And I love it. This is actually one of my favorite go-to drinks when I'm having a get-together.
Yeah, I mean it's super easy. It's efficient. It doesn't take many.
Yeah.
I like to garnish it with a little bit of sage to class it up. But other than that, you know, it's a nice easy one. And I'm not going to say it's my Super Bowl pick, but it's definitely my favorite cocktail out of them.
Nice. Yeah, I might actually bust. I like that one, especially because, like you said, it is Kansas City.
Yeah. Because they have, and it's, you know, in no way am I downing on their cocktail scene, because they have a very beautiful one, I'm sure, with all the bourbons and stuff they can use up there, and all the fresh products from all the farms. I'm sure they can make a million great cocktails, but to me, that's iconic. Yeah,
exactly. It's like you said, with Tech 9 growing up. I know I listened to Tech 9 like crazy growing up. So
yeah, right? All right, so my next one is out of Tampa Bay, and this one actually has, it's got a more interesting story. So it is called Southern Smoke, and it's from this bar called the Repeal 18. It's the 18th Amendment, which was Prohibition. So this is built on a Prohibition cocktail, being that Tampa was so close to the Gulf Coast that there was a lot more rum running going down there, as rum runners are. So they had a lot more influence in it. So this one has a bit more to it. Also has an egg white. Usually you want to put the egg white in last, but if you haven't made it perfectly, I don't want to waste any booze. So I'm just going to let it go out of the eggshell first, then put it in there. And you really want to dry shake it, but I like to do a reverse dry shake, which is ice first, strain, then shake without ice. So then it goes into 2 ounces of Reposado tequila. I went with Luna Azul. I'm sure many bartenders will agree with me. This is one of the best mid-shelf tequilas there is, price-wise and flavor.
I'm going to have to check it out. I've steered away from tequila for a long time.
A lot of people have, and there's a really good reason for it. So I get it, man. I get it. And then that is a half ounce of blood orange liqueur. There's very few types of blood orange liqueurs, so it's not as if you need to go right for one or the other. But like some are $50, some are 14.
Yeah.
Like it all depends on what your flavor profile is and what your bank account looks like. Then I have a quarter ounce of a Highland Scotch, which got a little smoke to it. So that'll add to the flavor of that, which will offset the meringue of the egg white. Half ounce of orange juice. And anyone who has bartended with me or seen me bartend will know there's a reason. They'll understand the mess that I'm making on my table right now. They've always hated working with me because I make a mess. I am a terribly messy bartender.
I do paperwork at work, and I make a mess, just paperwork everywhere until Friday. Then Friday I clean it up.
Exactly. I know it's closing time. That's when I know I'm going to clean up. So that was an ounce of simple syrup as well. Then I need an ounce of my lime juice. There we go. And like I said, now it's just a quick shake. About like 10, 15 seconds at most. Because the dry shake is what you really want to shake more. So when it's iceless, that's where it's all going to come out. So, and that's what I'm going to have to double strain to make. The egg white really doesn't have much of a flavor. It's got a texture. It really becomes a meringue. It's not necessarily for flavor. I know people get a little freaked out about it. It's egg white. I get it.
I'm definitely going to be.
Came from my own chickens.
I'm definitely going to make both of these for Super Bowl. So
they're delicious. I really like the egg white cocktail. It's not one if you're going out and you want to have 6 to 7 cocktails. Don't have 6 to 7 egg white cocktails. That's really going to hurt you. But here we go. This one gets a fancier glass.
Yeah. It's not Caribou Lou. Like I said, my go-to glass was a gas can. So.
Exactly. And just when you double strain, the tap out just adds extra meringue. For me being the fan of alcohol, I just assume there's more booze in there too, so I'll tap as long as I can. And there's just the mess on this side.
Yeah.
That I chose. So this was somebody else's cocktail, to be honest. It was somebody else's, and I just kind of looked it up. And her name is Amanda Parker at the Repeal 18, somewhere in Tampa. I don't know if she's going to ever hear this or she doesn't know me at all. It doesn't matter. I just feel like it's, I should let you know it's not mine.
Right thing to do.
Yeah. So I like to put a blood orange wheel on the cocktail glass itself, which is, generally garnishes are done prior to this, but I've been bartending over the phone for the last few months, so there's that one.
I love it. It's like a nice tropical feel to it too.
Yeah, exactly. And it's I'm like when I drink cocktails, like this thing is like I was talking to my wife about it. She was like, "What are you gonna make for you?" And I was like, "Well, I've made a bunch of cocktails and I have my own list." She's like, "Yeah, but where you came from?" And I was like, "I'm from Whitby. I'm not getting a Busch Light and a shitty whiskey to do this with." So there's not really a cocktail out there to do, which I know there's plenty of good cocktail bars on Whitby Island.
Yeah, you're gonna offend people we know.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go after Whitby. I loved my 18 years there, kind of, but that had nothing to do with Whitby. It all to do with me.
Absolutely. I actually, my co-host actually works at one of the whiskey distilleries on Whidbey Island.
I had heard there's distilleries there now.
Yeah. They got. I actually had one of their whiskeys recently, and it's delicious.
That makes me happy. Good for Whidbey.
Yeah.
When I heard the first dispensary opened up over there, I was like, well, there goes all the business to the 3 families I knew when I was younger.
Yeah, and honestly, wasn't shocking.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, yeah, of course. I assume it opened the day it was legal.
Yeah, and completely stocked and ready.
Yep. It's amazing how quickly
So
they got stocked.
My final cocktail will be, I call it the Gentleman's Fancy. It's my own cocktail. I only call it Gentleman's Fancy because I think gin is fancy, and I like to imagine myself as a gentleman. That's the entire reason behind it.
I actually hated gin like when I was younger, and then my wife got me into drinking gin, and now it's like my favorite.
Yeah, that's the thing. Gin grows on you. It becomes like, especially like, well, usually in the past 8-9 years, gin has exploded, especially in the Northwest corridor, Portland, Seattle,
Yeah,
San Francisco, even. It's gin heavy on a lot of cocktail menus, and I hated gin growing up because it didn't taste right.
yeah.
But just like most things you didn't like when you're younger, you weren't drinking the right ones.
Exactly. Yep. And I wasn't drinking it correctly either. I would.
Exactly. Yep. Right there. That's its own thing right there too. Cut a lime real quick for this one. So what it has is it's I used to use Emperor gin for this, which is it's a purple gin out of Oregon, but to me it had too much of the sweetness to it, so I went with this pink gin. It's Gordon's pink gin, distilled in a grapefruit essence, which for those who know gin, it's grapefruit is big with gin. They go together very well. So I have 2 ounces of this Gordon's pink gin. Splash again. It's a good thing my dog won't get up here. Half ounce of Aperol, which is an Italian bitter orange liqueur. It's more of an aperitif. I like to use it in a lot of cocktails. Actually, I'm gonna go like a 3/4 ounce pour on that one. I like to use it in a lot of cocktails. It takes away some of the sweetness. I make sweet cocktails. Some people don't like them. I love to make them. It's not what I drink, but I love to make them.
Yeah, it's more fun when you add all the extra stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. It all just kind of becomes part of it. So another half ounce of this blood orange liqueur as well. It calls for an orange liqueur, but there's some tartness to this super sweet liqueur, so it doesn't get overly sweet. And then I got a half ounce of lemon juice. Dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. No, 4. And then it's the last part I have is a little pomegranate simple. Half ounce of this as well. And this you really want to measure because that can really overdo it and destroy your palate.
Gotcha.
So then I just top off, quick shake again. And I do like to add something like this because it's going to have a sweetness to it. I do like to add a little cucumber at the end because the cucumber just really helps nullify a lot of that.
Yeah.
But without sacrificing flavor. So I got this unnecessarily large cucumber. I just pop it next to the lime. And there you are. And that has been on my menu for a couple different bars.
Yeah, I love it.
Bartender that.
It's funny. My wife is probably going to make.
Follow Lariat Bar. It's at Lariat Bar on Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome. My wife definitely going to try that third one because, like I said, she got me into gin. So we're going to party up for Super Bowl.
Yeah, I've been on a steady get rid of what you've done to yourself in quarantine diet as of late. So I haven't been drinking for about 4 weeks.
Nice.
I'm gonna enjoy all 3 of these now.
Awesome.
Let's try and get this mess out of the way.
I was about to ask you what's gonna happen with those 3 now. I'm so jealous.
I'd love to say I'm sharing them, but my wife doesn't drink. We've been together 16 and a half years. It boggles my mind how she stayed.
Yeah, that's a wild dynamic with being a bartender and your wife doesn't drink.
Yeah, she 9 to 5. I'm more of a 5 to 3.
I was gonna ask you. I mean, we got the Super Bowl, right? That's why we got themed drinks here. Um,
Yep.
I gotta know. We got Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. You are a Seahawk fan.
Yes, sir.
Do you have resentment towards Tom Brady?
I can't hate Tom Brady for Daryl Bevel. That's not Tom Brady's fault. I can hate Tom Brady for his red hat.
Yeah, yeah. There's plenty of
Yeah.
reasons.
I don't have to hate him for football. When it comes to football, that guy is just one hell of a quarterback and one hell of a leader. You can't
Right.
I can't blame him.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
And with that defense on top of Kansas City's left tackle being out, that is a bit
They
much.
actually have
Devontae
three.
David,
They have Kansas City has 3 starting offensive linemen out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that right there alone against. I'm not saying that Tampa Bay's defense is out of this world, but as this year went, most defenses were under subpar because of no training camps and how COVID affected everybody. There was about 4 to 6 defenses stood out. Tampa Bay's one of them, and Levante David. I mean, he's no Bobby Wagner, but Levante David is one hell of a guy on the other side of the field, and I think he's going to be the deciding factor in that game.
Nice. Yeah, I think.
Also don't think Mahomes' brain is quite there right now at the moment. I'm still believing in concussion protocol, and I think that guy's a little scrambled still.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually talked about that on our last show about how there was no way the NFL was going to let him miss a game. Too much ratings
maybe
at
week
stake.
4, not the AFC Championship.
Yeah. And man, yeah, I think that defense too. Shaq Barrett, he's a beast.
Yeah, man, and it's like that whole team has got something going for it. They have like 4 one-year contracts that are starting on their offense. Like these guys are proving, and they want to prove to get paid.
And they have multiple
really
free
bad cap year next year.
Yeah, multiple free agents as well.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that I am more bitter from growing up in the AFC West than before we changed the NFC West than I am for Tom Brady. So I say go Bucks.
Yeah.
They're a 1976 team too, so we have that in common. Seahawks, Bucks, same year. I say go Bucks.
Nice. Yeah. I was going to ask you who you were rooting for. I am also rooting for them because as we talked about, I'm a 49er fan and I am still bitter from last year.
You should be.
I mean, I'm still logical and I can see the talent, all that stuff. You know, I respect everything about them, but I don't want them to win.
I 100% agree. I like Mahomes, man. I really do. I think that guy is the future of the league.
Yeah.
As long as he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I heard a story about Tom Brady going into the Chiefs locker room and telling him he was the future of the NFL a couple years ago. And
before he drank the whatever keeps him as young as he is.
Yeah. And well, Tom Brady had just beat Kansas City that year.
Yeah.
So when he went in their locker room and told them, and I feel like Tom Brady being who he is, I feel like him telling him he's the future of the league was his way of saying, but I'm the present.
Exactly. Yeah. He's like, you're the future if you've got some years. Just so you know, maybe around 50. Depends on how futures go.
Keep yourself healthy because it'll be a while.
It's unreal. I mean, I kind of thought this was supposed to be like just like a troll year. Like he was just trolling the NFL. He's like, look, I can make the playoffs with any shitty team I can.
Yeah.
But maybe he stays. I don't know. Andy Reid seems to think, or not Andy Reid, I'm sorry. Bruce Arians seems to think that he's going to play more than 1 year.
Yeah. Right. And I think he will, especially now at this point, like how well they've done. I think he might. And I was saying before, I thought it was kind of him and Bill Belichick kind of both have egos, and both of them felt like they're the reason why the Patriots were so successful, and they both wanted to prove that the other one was not.
Doesn't look like Bill Belichick was right.
Yeah, right. I want to ask you, as a Seahawk fan, we're recording this a day after some breaking news about a trade, right, to the Rams inside the NFC West.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Stafford going to the Rams?
Well, I don't think it changed who the best quarterback in the NFC West is. Not yet.
No.
Russell Wilson is still far above.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jimmy G.
Coming up.
No, just kidding. Just kidding. Like I said, I'm not delusional.
Yeah. Well, he's so pretty though.
Yeah, I know.
He's such a pretty
if we're
man.
grading on looks, then he gets a
I think he
handicap.
wins.
Basically.
Russell's got
yeah.
that weird fro going on sometimes. It's unattractive. if for God's sakes, if he watches this, I'm sorry. Don't send your goons after me. The Seahawks fan in me wants to be really negative about it and be like, yeah, that guy Stafford is known for holding the ball a long time. We have better defenses in the NFC West. He gets hurt fairly easily because his shoulders are made out of crystal.
The last couple years, at least.
I think that, I already told my buddies, my bold take is he's out by week 3 for the year.
Oh, wow.
But in reality, he's intelligent as hell. He's proven. He's the same age or he's 1 year older than Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
How is that possible? He came on the 09 draft.
Yeah, and I feel like Russell Wilson came in like 3 years ago.
Right.
That's what it seems like.
So that's where, I see that as it's problematic. Sean McVay is intelligent.
Yeah.
And he knows how to run an offense. I'm hoping we just got all that back by taking 2 of his coaches and 4 more just left too. So I'm hoping that it wasn't all McVay.
Right. And I mean, we did see some, whether it was Goff or McVay, I mean, we saw a huge regression in their offense this year.
Absolutely.
So, I mean,
it could be the guy who doesn't know where the sun rises.
Yeah.
That's Goff.
Yeah, gotcha.
I feel worse for him. That guy was living in LA as a millionaire and super happy. He has to move to Detroit now.
Oh, yeah. I know. He's pretending to be happy. He actually tweeted out that he's happy to go to a team that actually wants him there. I mean,
fair enough.
Yeah, but it's Detroit. No one is going to want you there after you lose 5 games in a row.
Because the guy can't take any pressure, and you have to go to defensive front against the Bears twice a year and the Packers for what that's worth.
Yeah, and then we'll see who stays there because they also have multiple free agents on that team that could be moving key pieces on in the receiving core. So,
yeah,
I mean he's losing the receivers he had were great his whole time there.
I mean, absolutely comparatively, he's got Kenny Galladay. He can't his hamstring. That's a career kind of thing. That thing's always going to bother him.
Yeah.
Marvin Jones shows up twice a year. I know that from having on my fantasy team for the last 3 years.
Yeah, you just got to know which week to start him.
Exactly.
Yeah, him and Will Fuller, you get both of them, and as long as you have 100% hit rate, you'll win every week. You just got to know which week to start each one of those guys.
Exactly. Either way, they're going to play you 5 games a year.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you for coming on here, man. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to make these drinks here in a little bit. My wife hopefully is still awake so she can enjoy them with me.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you letting me have some fun and talk about Lariat Bar too. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Instagram at Risky Bartender, same thing on Twitter, and at Lariat Bar, LARIAT Bar on Instagram and Facebook. So.
Nice. Yeah, we'll have to hit you up. Maybe we'll do a live stream our draft there or something this year for fantasy
that'd be
football.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be
We'd
cool.
love to have that.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll stay in touch with you, and I'm saying go Bucks.
Yeah, that's right. Go Bucks, I guess.
I guess.
Go Falcons. Oh.
All right. Cool. I hit stop record. I can't wait to try those cocktails. This should be a great time. Man, I'm excited. This next group of guys, it's 2 writers from over at Rumboyz.com. I'm super stoked to get into this one. I had 2 other writers that are also these minds are some of the greatest football minds, but unfortunately, that file got corrupted, and I'm so sorry to Stepmom Lauren and Sam. We'll have to get you guys back on here at some point. First time I bring them together, and the file doesn't work. I lost the video. But we got 2 writers from Rumboyz.com, Jordan Love and Miles Peacock. I love these guys. They're family for me. So make sure you guys listen carefully because these guys are geniuses. That's why I love talking to writers, man. Welcome in, guys. Excited to have you guys. I had to get the Rumboyz fam on here for the Super Bowl. So we got, Miles and J Love here. Unfortunately, Robbie couldn't make it. But I was going to ask you guys, we got this big time game against 2 of the, best quarterbacks we've ever seen play this game. But outside of these quarterbacks, I want to know what you guys think like the key to victory for these teams. Like, how do you see the envision this game happening, and for each team to be successful?
Sure. I guess I can go first. I think um, one of the key things for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is got to be their defense. Obviously, the defense has been on a roll here in the playoffs for them. They've had defensive scores, and they've been setting up Tom Brady, and that's why his numbers don't look really great here in the playoffs this year. They're not like outstanding 300-yard games, and he has had a couple of multiple touchdown games, but because, like I said, the defense has set him up to throw, something from like the 30-yard line into the end zone, and they end up scoring. So the stats aren't padded, but the defense has been key to setting them up and having them play well in their current playoff run at this given time. Now, that pass rush is going to be specifically important because we have Patrick Mahomes, who was slightly hobbled with that turf toe injury. That you saw him kind of limited in the AFC Championship game, not as mobile as he might have been maybe, say, last year in their Super Bowl run when he was, his scrambling ability going off down the sidelines. He was doing that basically every game. And they were also coming from behind in those games. So I feel like Andy Reid has kind of like kept things under control, hasn't really unleashed Patrick Mahomes in that sense as far as his mobility. But I do think that the pass rush for the Bucs is going to be extremely huge. If they can put some pressure, shake Mahomes out, and hopefully, the defensive backs can still stay with the faster guys like Tyreek Hill or Mecole Hardman or whoever's Sammy Watkins, whoever's healthy for them. I think if you just make the squeeze the pocket or you brush him out and you have to make him that mobile quarterback, I don't see him being as dangerous as he was, say, like last year, just because of that slight, that toe injury and the fact that he hasn't had to do it that much this year. Can he still do it? Yeah, more than likely. I mean, you have the great young kid who's on his way to be that next GOAT, the old Billy GOAT that Tom Brady is now. But I would like to see the Bucs defense still step up and make this a close game. I think it was a 3-point game back in week 12 when they played 27-24. So I would love to see something like that. I think that a lot of the new age guys, though, like I was talking to my brother-in-law last night, and he's a huge, he's all about Mahomes and he's just too good and nobody can stop him. I was like, anybody can be stopped. You got to put enough pressure. You got to play defense the right way. And you can, the team is beatable. So I'm looking at more specifically the Bucs pass rush and defensive line to put pressure on to make this a very close and competitive game. If they don't do that, then of course I think Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill are just going to have their way, and Andy Reid is going to game script this, call the plays the way everything just falls in line for the Chiefs, like it has since Mahomes has been the quarterback for them.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. Especially I know people think Mahomes is untouchable, but I mean, they didn't go undefeated, right? Like they've lost games. So obviously he can be stopped. It's difficult, but yeah, he can be. J Love, what do you think?
Yeah, I 100% agree about that Tampa Bay defense. Shaq Barrett's going to be an animal going up against a right guard playing right tackle, and you have JPP, who is active despite not practicing this week except for once on a limited performance. He's going up against a backup offensive tackle as well. That whole offensive line all year has been makeshift, and they've struggled against bad defenses. This Tampa Bay defense is not that at all. But I actually want to focus on the other defense that we're looking at in the Kansas City Chiefs. Last year, they won the Super Bowl because their defense picked it up, and they were honestly great in that playoff run. This year, they have the worst red zone efficiency defense in the league by a wide margin. I believe it is 78.5%. They allow touchdowns in the red zone. That is 10% highest. Like no other team is in the 70s. For perspective, if they can maintain this offense, mainly keeping the run game in hold, because Leonard Fournette this postseason has been great. Keep him out of the end zone. Keep that contained. I feel like you can hold this offense a little bit, but it's focusing on keeping them to field goals, and I feel like that can give the Chiefs their chance of outscoring anybody.
Yeah. I want to know, like, the receiver cores, right? Like, we got Tyreek Hill on one side, who's amazing. We have, there's Chris Godwin, Mike Evans on the other side, even Antonio Brown, Scotty Miller, all of those guys. Where do you see the biggest advantage? Because, you also have Travis Kelce, on the Kansas City side.
Honestly, I like the advantage more for Tampa Bay just because of the defenses that we're looking at. Like Carlton Davis was an All-Pro almost this year. You look at Jamel Dean, who had a really good year last year and has picked it up as the season has gone on. The corners for Tampa Bay are much better than the corners that we're looking at for Kansas City. The safety play is about even now. I know Tyrann Mathieu is a big game record, but so is Antoine Winfield when he played this year. So I feel like the Bucs will be able to take advantage down the field a little bit more than the Chiefs can.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that the speed of the Chiefs is a huge factor, but like you were saying, the defense on the backside for the Bucs, I think that they're smart enough and they can strategize enough and have a game plan to put that pressure on, make Mahomes throw quick, and that way those deep over the top routes they don't have time to develop those, and that's how they can get you. I understand that they can beat you underneath it with Travis Kelce dragging across the field or a quick wide receiver screen that just kind of goes to the house, but I'd rather have them do that than beat us over the top if I'm the Bucs. So I do think that the speed advantage goes to the Chiefs side of the ball as far as the receivers go. But I do like the weaponry that the Bucs have as well. They have a lot of great name guys. They have a high point big man in Mike Evans who can just go down the field and do a 50-50 jump ball and bail Tom Brady out. You got Godwin, running in the slot, moving all over the field. He can get his anywhere he wants, basically. And then you have Antonio Brown, who hasn't been with a team and who's finally looking healthy enough to play in this big game. So that's going to be great. And I know you guys probably talked about it a little bit, but both him and Lev Bell now in the Super Bowl sans the Steelers. So that's great for those guys, I guess. I don't know. We figured they would have both made it as a Steeler at some point, right together. But it's crazy how things work out.
Yeah,
but yeah, I would
these
say
guys were like top of their position at one point in their career, basically at the same point.
Pinnacle of the league.
Yeah. And yet now they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's so weird. Right. It's such a crazy thing to kind of think about. But like I said, good for them. But I think the speed advantage goes to the Kansas City Chiefs as far as because you got Hardman and Watkins, and then you even have like Byron Pringle, I think, who's a pretty speedy guy too, even if he plays or whatever. So the speed there, but like I said, some of the size going with Godwin and Evans there, those guys being able to just kind of make plays as receivers, in that intermediate game, kind of like a group of tight ends, really, if you want to leave it that way for Brady. I think that his connection with Gronk.
They also
Brady,
have a group of tight ends, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. They have Gronk and Brady, and they're going to utilize both of those because that's what they kind of like to do, as opposed to the Chiefs, who are just going to kind of roll out with Kelce. And then the thing with me is, though, that they scheme for Kelce so well, and you just kind of forget about him, and then all of a sudden it's like, damn it, how did you not cover him? And I feel that the Chiefs are so good at doing that.
He'll have the quietest 100-yard, 3-touchdown game ever.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't even know how that's possible.
Right, but you'll just be like, oh, I haven't seen too much of Travis Kelce this game. Look down at the box score: 2 touchdowns, 8 catches, 120 yards.
Yeah, I was about to say like 7 catches. And they all come like right at the end of a half, and that's
And I mean, that's probably because also Mahomes is such an amazing player himself. He makes these crazy throws where like that's where the highlight reel is compared to this dump off pass to Travis Kelce that's just a nice simple pass, and sure, it went for 20 yards and a touchdown.
Underhand flick.
Sometimes, those are those little touch passes, 2 yards away from the end zone, and he'll get in there. So those count as touchdown passes and receptions for those players as well. Andy Reid knows what he's doing, as far as records go, I think, to kind of help Mahomes.
That's another thing. Where do you think who do you think has the coaching advantage here?
Oh, no doubt the Chiefs.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Coming from a Cardinals fan who dealt with Bruce Arians for years, no doubt the Chiefs. I want to see how Bruce Arians attacks the running game in this. I feel like whichever team can bring a running game presence. I know the Chiefs haven't done it all year, but I said this last night. Whoever can establish a run game will win this game. We've seen the Bucs get away from it this year. They'll run the ball 8 times in a game, 6 times in a game. Hell, 4 times once. So it's really just coming down to if Bruce Arians is going to run this ball, he's going to ride Leonard Fournette. Who knows? Ronald Jones might run an 80-yarder like he's done multiple times. So it's really just getting that run game going for Tampa Bay, and then I like their play calling. We know Andy Reid's an offensive mastermind, but he may have too much to overcome in this case. So even if they win the coaching advantage, I still kind of like the Bucs matchup.
I agree with you as far as the coaching edge to the Chiefs on the offensive side. And I would even take it a step further and say that there's probably still a coaching advantage on the defensive side for the Chiefs as well, with Steve Spagnuolo's defense versus Tom Brady career-wise. I think Brady's 2-3 versus those defense with a 60 QBR, which is not good at all. He has 9 touchdowns to 13 sacks in that period versus Spagnuolo defenses. So he's historically had a tough time with him. I think, though, if going back to the running game, if the Bucs can get up early, whether it's a field goal or whatever, and get a stop, right, then they can really turn to that run game. It'd be smart, and it's imperative for them to get Leonard Fournette going and keep him a monster part of this game, because you get the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands for a majority of whatever the drive is, right? Because you can run the football. The clock isn't stopping. And then you're just pounding away at that defense, and you're kind of demoralizing them. And we know that that's basically what neither of these teams are, that classic, like, okay, we're just going to run the ball late in the season and, wear down your defense, and that's how we win, kind of style of football. This is the new age kind of deal where you're just airing it out all the time because of these quarterbacks. They're great quarterbacks. So I think that it's keeping it with what J-Love said. If one of these teams can get the run game going, that's probably going to be the team that's going to control the offense and the game and probably come out on top.
Yeah. So I feel like Kansas City has the more dangerous weapons in the game, and then Tampa Bay has more weapons. Like, they have more depth, at basically every position, right? Like, from wide receiver to tight end, and then even to coaching, because you got Tom Brady there too, who's just an extra coach on the field.
He's just letting him, call the plays, basically. I think Arians said in a couple of those post-game pressers where he's like, he's letting Brady go off. And I think that's...
Trash Belichick. And he's like, I let him be free. I let Tom Brady be Tom Brady.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, Belichick's so sad right now watching this Super Bowl. I could only imagine.
I just hope he doesn't get Deshaun Watson
in there with this hoodie on.
I wouldn't know what to do, because my dad is my dad's a Patriots fan, and so I know that, like, if something like that were to happen, he'd be like, "Come to the dark side."
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on here. We're going to get into some other segments here, so appreciate it, guys. And one last question: who are you guys rooting for?
Personally,
rooting for, or who do we think's going to win?
I want to know who you're rooting for.
Okay, it's weird because I turned because I was like, Brady can't throw a ball like 10 yards down the field to save his life at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's impressed me. He gives guys, middle-aged men like me, 35-year-old guys like myself, some hope, still be, that good in 10 years when I'm his age or whatever it is. So I'm cheering for the GOAT to come out on top, to put Mahomes in his place and say, it's not your turn yet. And then he can retire, Brady can, and then go out and ride on his white horse, and then, hand it over to Mahomes. I think that'd be the picture perfect story. So I'm cheering for Brady. It's odd. I think this is the first time I ever cheer for Brady, like ever.
Right.
So it's going to be a weird feeling, but I think that's where my heart is going. Who do I think will win, though? Most likely the Chiefs.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah, so I'm the exact opposite. I'm rooting for Kansas City mainly because I'm a massive Tyrann Mathieu fan. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL, former Cardinal.
Former Texan.
A little bit shorter than when
he's one of my favorite follows on Twitter,
a little
too.
Bit shorter. Also,
he's great.
Also, you kind of just let him walk. We kind of cut him.
Yeah, we did let him walk. But we didn't want to pay him the $11 million or whatever it was.
Yeah, Arizona didn't want to pay him either. That's why he got cut. Salty Cardinals fan. But I'm rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. However, I do think that Tampa Bay comes out on top, mainly just matchup-wise. I think they have the upper hand.
That'd be great.
Okay. Yeah.
No, it would piss me off.
That's what I want to happen.
I'm conflicted, honestly. I don't. Either way, something happens, I'm going to be mad about it. I'm sure.
I think I'm just going to be happy either way. Like I want to see both these guys successful. So.
I don't want. What I don't want to see is a Super Bowl like we had with was it Seattle and Denver, where it was just so lopsided. I think it was like,
exactly. I want it to be fun.
Spread.
That's all I care about.
Right. I don't want to see anything like that. I don't want to see a blowout.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys Friday.
Yeah. Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah. Anytime.
All right, guys. Those are some of the best football minds on this planet. Next, we got some guys that I love. I've been wanting to get on the show for a long time, so I took this as an opportunity to do that. They're from the Bay Area, or down in Cali, some 49er fans down there, so I can appreciate that as a 49er fan. And that's the Hard to Start crew. They're a new up-and-coming group, man. Check them out. They do fantasy football content as well. I'll put links to all these people down in the description of this video, so you guys can find everyone there. All right, let's do this, guys.
Cursing, JD.
Yeah. Edgar Martinez.
Yeah, I'm gonna put together a
The
little
show's
promo
coming back
video
out.
too.
Kerr about to make me get that. The show's coming back out on Xbox.
Oh yeah?
Or coming out on Xbox.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on that.
Cool. I'll just do like because I'm gonna introduce who's coming on right before we get into this, so I won't do like a full-on intro for you guys in here.
Okay.
It's Super Bowl Sunday. How you guys doing, man? You guys ready for this game or what?
Man, without a doubt.
It's
boy,
kind of
boy.
bittersweet though, JD. We it's kind of bittersweet, man. Our team was just in the Super Bowl. You too, Justin.
Yeah.
Just in the Super Bowl last year, man, and we gotta watch Mahomes play.
Yeah, that's a good point. I got to ask you guys about that, like, because I know how I feel. But as a 49er fan, like, I'm a little bitter still. Like, I'm rooting for Tampa Bay here just out of spite.
Oh man, you know what? You don't want to. I can't root for Tampa Bay, man. I like Mahomes, even though they beat us last year. I just like Mahomes, man. I like Andy Reid. Like, those are two of my, Kelsey. I like Kelsey. Like, I just respect what they got going on. It's kind of hard to root against it. My storyline will come in while I take who I take. I'll let you get into it. Keep going, man.
Okay.
But I'm going for Brady, though. I've been a Brady fan for a long time. It's been at least 15, 16 years that I've been rocking with Brady for a long time, bruh. And, Brady about to bring home that dub.
Man.
You know what I mean? Once we get a little bit more into it as well, I'm going to tell you just the storyline that's going to resonate for me and why I think he's going to do it.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of people like to hate on him because, like, how successful he's been, right? But, like, you got to sit back and admire that, like, just enjoy him for what he's doing, that it's incredible.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with that.
I could honestly say that, you got to respect greatness. Like, I'm watching him. I've got to see him win every Super Bowl that he's won. Like, I could say that to my kids, like, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Brady was a bad man, boys. Brady was a
But
bad
definitely,
man.
with the success came a lot of hard work. And Brady is not that guy that you see on the outside of his craft doing all the extra stuff. All you know Brady for is what Brady does in between them lines and how he is a father to them kids and a husband to his wife. Other than that, all you know him for is football. You know what I mean? And that's one of the main reasons why I respect him, because he's fully dedicated to his craft.
Yeah, and it reminds me, like, as a 49er fan, right? He reminds me of Jerry Rice in a way, because, like, Jerry Rice wasn't outspoken. Jerry Rice, he came in and he wasn't the most amazing athlete. He just did all the small things perfect, and as a receiver. But now as a quarterback, that's more, crucial on a team, obviously. And that's what Brady does. He's not a Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, he's not throwing it behind his back 50 yards down the field. But he does all the small things perfect.
And that's funny that you brought up Rice, because when I was scrolling through YouTube not too long ago, maybe a week or two ago, Jerry Rice was on the Terrell Owens podcast, and Owens asked him, or no, it was Owens' co-host. I can't even Hatchett. Hatchett, I think he played for the Vikings. He asked him, what do you think you lacked in, or some pertaining to where he thought he could have got better or something like that. And Rice always said, like how you just said, he always did everything perfect. Without a doubt, the little things he did perfect. He felt like there was nowhere else that he could have got better at, and that's what Brady is. You know what I mean? Brady consistently perfects his craft, even probably in the off season when it ain't March, April. They probably do the OTAs come in June and all that. But other than that, probably after when January, because he's been in the Super Bowl. What is this? His 10th Super Bowl, and he's played 19 years. So
amazing.
that's just like LeBron. He plays so much basketball. You would think that his body wears down, but they take care of their body so much, so we ramp it up. He don't get the off season like the rest of the players do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. As this is the Super Bowl, I want to ask you guys: do you guys what's your what do you do for a Super Bowl? Do you guys normally do a party? Do you have any rituals that you guys go through? How's that work for you guys?
JD, you kicked off your last year was with the gumbo, right? Last few years.
Yeah. So we were since this was first year back, in the area, him and his wife and his family, were back in the area. He threw a party, Super Bowl party, for all the family and whatnot. So they allowed me, him and his wife, he allowed me to come into their kitchen and cook my gumbo for the family. Even though that, I wouldn't say that's a tradition because I ain't doing it this year. You know what I mean? We doing something real small at my house.
Yeah, but, this year a little bit different than most too.
Right, without a doubt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had that big party, man. It was a party all the way up until everyone's like, "Whoa, wait, what?"
until Jimmy missed Emmanuel.
Man,
hey, we were all over here talking about going to the parade.
I had a bottle of champagne ready to be popped in my hands, and then it just got sad.
I knew it was over when my grandpa went home. He said, he went home before the game was even over. He said he knew what was going to happen. I'm like, oh, man. But tradition, that's usually just see who's having something, see what's going on. Like he said, I had lived in the Bay Area in New York for a while, so having the family over was the first time in a long time, and we had a fun time last year. This year, I'm thinking about going to Vegas, man. A couple of the boys got, some sweets from their gambling credits.
Man, that's So my original plan was to go to Vegas. Yeah. We had a change in plans and stuff, so I'm not able to do that now. But I mean, I wish we could have, met up there.
I'm thinking about going to a little day party that they're showing the game at. Nothing too major. I want to go put some money down on the Chiefs. I want the money line on the Chiefs. And, just go get out the house a little bit, man. It's been so long. I'm ready to just go, be around different people,
Yeah, in Vegas, I mean, it's still
on,
there.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
gotta be safe and responsible.
Star mask on, right?
I got ghetto angels protecting me, man, so I'm good, man.
You got to have the Heart to Start mask on, though. Right?
Yeah.
You still got some of them? You all right?
Yeah, I still got one.
That's right.
Yeah, I always sport the clock management one everywhere I go.
That's right.
So.
All time. What's your tradition, though, Justin? What's one of your main things?
So I have my home fantasy football league that I've been in since I started doing fantasy football forever ago, and that group of people, we always get together. We always do something, some sort of get together. Even when I was on the other side of the country, I would fly here just for the Super Bowl to go party for the Super Bowl with them. And this year I'm like, you know what? It might be a pandemic, but we're still partying, just not in person. We're going to do a Zoom call. So we're all going to be partying at our own houses, but still together.
That's what's up.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So now getting back to the Super Bowl, though, I got to know, who you guys got winning this and how? Where do you see the biggest advantage for one team? What do you think keys to success are here?
I'll give it to you quick and short. I'll give it to you. Well, not too quick and short, man. I got the Chiefs, man. I'm going to take the money line with the Chiefs. If I could pick a score, I say 34-31 Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs just because, man, everyone says Tom, and he rarely loses. He doesn't lose. We can't even remember the last time he lost, which was to Eli, But I just think of
Foles.
To Foles. I just think of Mahomes having to go the rest of his career trying to catch Brady, right? Because this is ultimately the person that we look to think that's going to catch Brady, clutch-wise, performance-wise, his overall talent, right? Does he want to go the rest of his career with people comparing him to Brady, and then when he does get the Brady's, how many rings he has, they're gonna say you couldn't even beat the old Brady. Like this is set for Mahomes to beat the person he's trying to catch. This is the passing of the torch, and Brady doesn't want to pass the torch. He doesn't even want to quit playing. He's gonna be back next year. I'm picking Mahomes. I'm going with. I love what Tampa Bay's defense has done later in the year. I love their run D, but guess what? The Chiefs don't even run like that. They want to pass the ball.
Yeah, they'll just abandon the run and still win.
The Buccaneers defense, the blitz is going to be on Mahomes' ass. So I look for a lot of plays and them to be firing left and right, a lot of crossing routes, a lot of screens, a lot of whatever they can do to get the ball out quick. And set up some of those big plays, man. I'm taking the Chiefs, man. I think it's a setup with this 3 points. They got Tampa Bay with the +3. You know what I mean? I know they're at home, but they're not the defending champs, so they gave the edge to the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Bucs. My score is 27-23. The storyline that I have is that here it is, his first season as a Buck coming from New England, and here it is that they were horrible. Well, I ain't gonna say horrible, but they weren't as good as they were leading up until these playoffs during the regular season, and somehow, some way, everything clicked. And here it is now, where they went and won 3 straight road games. You take down Washington, which everybody, no, I ain't going to say everybody, but a lot of people thought that defensive line was going to get to him and knock him off his spot, in which that's how you beat Brady. No, that didn't happen. Then you go to New Orleans, who whooped the dog crap out of them
Twice,
second game that they played. First game of the season, I think it was a nail biter or whatnot. I can't even remember that. I can't even remember yesterday sometimes. And then we get to the playoff game, and they just annihilated them. And you had Leonard, which we call in our league, or Leonard Fournette, look like a Pro Bowl running back, which he has been in that divisional game. Then you go to Green Bay, which is supposed to be, 20 mid-20s, and Tom, or maybe the Buccaneers ain't ready for that, but Tom, he's been playing in that type of weather his whole career. And Aaron Rodgers is the front runner for the MVP, been slinging that thing everywhere. And they jump out on them, but they, Green Bay come back. But here it is with those 3 road wins and him setting up to get his team to be the first team to have the Super Bowl in their hometown in his first season, in his 43rd year of living, his 19th season. That's the storyline. But to get to the reason why I think they're going to win, and like how you said, Cuzzo, about them having one of the number 1 defenses in the league, or run-stopping defenses in the league, and Kansas City don't run it. But here it is. We got Eric Fisher, who's down, which is their starting left tackle. You take the right tackle, you put him at the left tackle, which when he was a starting left tackle in the Carolina-Denver game, he gave up 2 strip fumbles, 2 strip sacks to Von Miller. Now you got JPP and Shaq Barrett. And if you might be able to get pressure with Vita Vea and Dominic and Sue, I forgot who the other lineman is, and one of those pass rushers, whether you combine them and you just send 4, I think they get to him and they're back, and they can drop the 7 in coverage. I ain't gonna say you can confuse Mahomes, but I definitely think that if you can get there with 4, and the way that those safeties are coming up playing Kelsey, or just playing the way, especially the way that they played in New Orleans, bro. They caused so many. I mean, even in the Green Bay game, they caused so many turnovers.
They almost played that New Orleans game up. Did you see how Tom was looking when he threw those picks, when they bounced off the player and he was on the sideline like, oh no.
In the Green Bay game, he gave up 3 of them too, and Green Bay couldn't capitalize. But that's just my thing. I think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, they will rush. They will, it might be a 4 and 5 man rush every now and then. I know it would be 4 consistently, but they're going to drop 7. And then on the offensive side for the Bucs, I definitely think that they're going to be able to match point for point with the with Kansas City, because their offense is just as potent. It might not be as explosive. You might not get 40 and 50-yard plays because they ain't got no Tyreek Hill, even though Tyreek Hill, the last time they played him, had 200 yards in the first quarter. But I think that they able to adjust to that, and that they will go point for him. 27-23 Tampa Bay Bucks. My bad for taking so long.
Oh no, you're good, man. I think like a key to this game is going to be that defensive line though. Like how much pressure can they get on Mahomes? And I mean, I think we like everyone know, like we're saying, these are two of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game, right? They're everyone to say they're like the key to success, you know. Of course they are, but like the defensive line, if I think they're going to be the key for Tampa Bay. On the opposite side, I think you get the honey badger over there. I think those eliminating those short passes for Tom Brady, some of that stuff. I think he's, if he could make a game or like make a key play or two, that could be what changes it for the Chiefs on the other side. And then, man, I think Tampa Bay has so many more weapons than the Chiefs, but Mahomes is just so explosive, and all those players, the weapons they do have are explosive. So like at any point, it's like throwing a match into a TNT barrel. It could just explode at any point and get out of hand. So I think that this game is probably going to come down to whoever has the ball last. But if I had to bet on this, I'm betting on the Chiefs. I think that it's going to be even a little bit higher scoring than what the betting line is, and I think we're looking at probably a 31-28 game, something like that.
I got another stat to throw at you. Tom Brady, as an underdog in his career, has covered the spread in 71% of those games as him being an underdog.
Oh yeah, and I think I keep on saying this over and over. I feel like a broken record, but I don't ever want to bet against Tom Brady. I also don't ever want to bet against Patrick Mahomes, though.
Right, no, I feel it. No, I definitely feel it.
That 70% you said, that 30 happened. It happened.
Yeah, that 30 happened. But don't look at his career games, though.
Hey, I'm gonna give you another.
No, but then also Tom Brady's turnovers this year has been a thing. That's the other part. He's turned it over. I don't even blame him. Like in the last game, a couple of those were not his fault as his receivers, but he has not been as good as he has in previous years in decision making. He has made some mental errors,
and he hasn't had no weapons like this before. So he's
absolutely,
that's
absolutely.
Hey,
but I'm just saying there might be a turnover too.
Let's not forget Arians. Yep. Arians just came up short a few times, man, with the Steelers. He got one with the Steelers, didn't he? He was the coordinator. He came up short with the Steelers.
I don't remember which year he left.
He came up short with the Cardinals. This could be that Andy Reid situation where he was trying to get his last one. So I'm not all the way sold on the Chiefs. I just like the Chiefs. I just think that storyline
I think it's going to be one hell of a game.
Him chasing the GOAT for the rest of his career, you don't want them to be able to say that. And another thing too, Mahomes could also be the first quarterback to win back-to-back Super Bowls since who? Brady.
Bradshaw.
You know what I mean? Since Brady. No, 2003,
no,
2004.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking it's back-to-back Super Bowl MVPs. Bradshaw is the last quarterback to win back-to-back Super Bowl MVPs.
Repeat champions. He's looking, Mahomes do that. That's two things he has on his resume.
He's checking off the list.
Hey, I did two repeats. I beat Brady. You know what I mean? I beat him. It's the same thing with the LeBron and Jordan. They never played, so we can't say that. So all we can do is match rings.
Even
when LeBron matches rings, it's the same thing. Okay, well,
yeah. Even back in the day, though, we had Kobe, who everyone compared to Jordan, right? And we got to see them actually play each other. I mean, obviously Jordan was not in his prime no more or anywhere close to it, but yeah, it could be.
He gave it to him
similar
in that All-Star game, but he also put him up on some game after that All-Star game that they played in too, though.
Yeah,
everything. So Jordan seen what Kobe was about, but he had to give it to Lil Brad too, though. Everything. So that's why I think that Tom Brady finna give it to Lil Brad. And after I go ahead and win this one, it's all yours, big dog. You can have it.
No, I got another prediction for you. Mahomes beats Brady. Brady comes back next year, and they do it again.
Oh man, man,
And they do it again.
I would love to see it. All right, well, I just want to thank you guys for hopping on here with me, man. We'll have to get you guys on for a full episode sometime.
Man, whenever,
Anytime,
big
bro.
man.
You know, you've been holding us down from day one, man. Anytime you want. There.
I appreciate it, guys.
Off top, likewise.
That was a lot of fun getting together with some fellow 49er fans to do a segment, I think for the first time on our show. But now, I mean, I can't make this bias, right? Like, I can't just sit here and interview 49er fans. That'd be insane. No one, and plus I'm from the Northwest. No one's going to watch that. So next, I got this up and coming guy, just started this year, and he is killing it. Smart dude, very professional, one of my favorites, and he's always dressed to impress, and that's Steezy A. Smith. All right, let's get to that one right now. What's going on, Steezy? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Clock Management, man.
Hey, my pleasure, bro. Thanks for having me. I can't wait to have you on my show eventually. But thank you so much. It's an honor to be on your show, man.
Yeah, man, we got to talk about the Super Bowl here in a second. But real quick, I want to know, like, you know, we've already seen. I know you're a Seahawk fan. I'm a 49er fan. We just saw, you know, a big move with Matthew Stafford coming to the Rams. We've already seen, you know, the Arizona Cardinals make some big moves last offseason, right? With bringing in D-Hop and whatnot. So I want to know what you think about the NFC West and where you see it going, man. Like, who do you see winning this division? I think it's a tough division, man.
Hey, right now, where we stand, I'm going to have to go with the Rams. I think, you know, despite my Seahawks winning the division, despite us going 12-4, we got bounced, and they beat us twice out of 3 times last year. And so I don't care that we finished with the NFC West crown. I don't care that we finished with the best record in the division. Right now, this is the Rams' division to lose, and they upgraded massively at quarterback. Matthew Stafford is so much better, so much more talented. He's a gunslinger compared to Jared Goff. He's just been turnover prone. He's been a turnover machine these last couple of years. And so where it stands, I'm going to go with the Rams, but don't count out the Seahawks because, look, I'm in love with the Shane Waldron hiring. I think that's going to do wonders for our offense, but I still think that we need to adjust a few pieces in terms of our wide receiver 3, in terms of our offensive line, maybe getting another complimentary pass rusher. And so until we make those moves, for the time being, I'm going to go LA 1, Seattle 2, and then a healthy San Fran 3, and then Arizona 4.
Yeah, and what's like, I feel like it's so hard to rank these teams too, just because, like, you know, saying Arizona 4, you're like, oh, they're the worst, you know? But, like, even with them being at number 4, they're still, like, above average in the NFL, right? Even being the worst in the NFC West. It's a crazy time, man.
But without a doubt, I mean, we all thought that the NFC West was going to be crazy this year. I mean, wait till next year comes around. If San Fran does stay healthy, if Arizona takes that next leap, if Seattle is able to revamp their offense, if the Rams are able to build off of last year with Matt Stafford, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's terrifying for the NFL and for just being in the NFC West, like, because I feel like any one of those teams could lead in almost any other division.
No, without a doubt.
Yeah, sorry. I know this is supposed to be about Super Bowl, but, you know, I had to bring up the NFC West with us both being NFC West dudes here.
Bro,
but,
this is your show, man. It's all good.
Yeah. So speaking of Super Bowl, you know, we got 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of our time, of our generation, right? Like, I mean, one of them for sure, and one of them has all the potential in the world. And then, like, these teams they're just the amount of talent on these teams. I know a lot of times we'll see, like, one team that's like kind of a defensive powerhouse against an offensive powerhouse. Both these teams pretty well rounded and offensive powerhouses for sure. Yeah, where do you think, like, the biggest differences lie in these teams? Like, where one team has the biggest advantage?
Hey, I know the Chiefs defense, you know, they take some heat, you know, every now and then because their defense isn't the best, but their defense is, I think, very underrated. But even with that said, I got to say the defense, because the Chiefs, they have a significant weakness. They have a significant deficiency on that side of the football, and it's their run defense. When you contrast that with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, statistically, they have the number one ranked rush defense in the NFL. Their secondary can be inconsistent at times. They tend to give up a few plays, but, they still have a few solid performers there. Antoine Winfield's coming back, but I got to say the biggest difference between these two teams has got to be defense.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I was big on the Tampa Bay defense going into the season for like fantasy purposes and stuff,
Right.
just because like last year they were like mediocre at best, but they also had Shaq Barrett, who really showed out last year. He was the sack king on the year. I actually got to talk to him after the season, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and then there was the Jameis Winston leaving there, who was constantly turning the ball over and putting their defense in a bad situation. So I didn't think their defense was bad last year so much as they were just put in bad situations and they would get scored on, give up points, and then bringing in Tom Brady, who is notorious for not doing those things. I thought would really help them. And then they even upgraded some positions, brought in some key players. So they've been an outstanding defense this year.
Bro, you talk about Jameis Winston. My man's threw 30 interceptions last year, and 7 of those were returned for touchdowns. And so you want to talk about putting the offense or putting the defense in bad positions? When you're putting them in a position where they're scoring touchdowns off of seven pick sixes.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Tom Brady, he had about 12, 13 picks this year, but
yeah,
12, 13. That's a 12. So that's that's a minus 18, or that's a plus 18 difference.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, when I was watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play last year, when I saw that defense, I saw potential. I saw a potential top 10 unit. It was just really the quarterback that was holding them back.
Yeah, for real. And they did bring Gronk came in there, and they brought in a few other key pieces on the offense as well to help. Not that they necessarily needed it because they already had a pretty good team, but that depth, I feel like they just have so much depth everywhere on the field. Wide receiver, their wide receivers from all the way to, you got the main two with Evans and Godwin, Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson, and Antonio Brown out there. Just so many wide receivers that just look like amazing wide receivers. They all look like they could be wide receiver ones on a lot of teams.
No, without a doubt. Tom Brady, my goodness, that's why he had 40 touchdowns this year. I understand he's the GOAT, but you put him on a stacked receiving corps, or you give him a stacked receiving corps like Tampa Bay did this year. My goodness. Imagine if Pat Mahomes was quarterbacking this team with all those weapons.
Yeah.
Woo!
Right?
Russell Wilson? Woo!
Yeah, but I'm a huge DK guy myself, so I love DK.
Right?
Yeah. I was real big on DK going into this past year. Tyler Lockett too, but we'll see going forward. I might have to adjust some rankings going into the next year. But and then the fact that Ronald Jones showed up after years of just being inefficient, not good, not a good pass blocker, not good at any aspect of the game, and all of a sudden he showed up this year too.
He damn near had 1,000 yards, if not for a couple missed games. He definitely would have hit the 1,000-yard mark for sure.
Right? I know for fantasy, everyone was hyping up CEH, right? He moved into the first round, right?
First round.
And just looking at him compared to Ronald Jones now is it's so crazy, man, because Ronald Jones outperformed him.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Easily did.
And then they brought in Leonard Fournette as well, who, that's what I mean with this depth, man. So who do you think wins this game, man?
Bro, I'm gonna have to go. So we got a battle of the GOAT between the baby GOAT. Pat Mahomes obviously has so much more ahead of him in terms of his career. So I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay, man. Tampa Bay and the Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I just think that with Tom Brady, when you look at all six of his rings have come from game-winning drives. And so I think that in this game, they're going to try to run the football to start off the game. They're going to run some play action. But I think come fourth quarter, they're going to unleash Tom Brady. They're going to let him loose. He hasn't had the best postseason so far. His defense has carried them. His run game has carried them. His receivers have carried them. And he's been turning the football over a little bit more than we're accustomed to. But, I mean, look, we've given the man 2 weeks to prepare. I mean, 2 weeks. When we talk about how cerebral he is, how mentally prepared he always is, I mean, you give him, man, 2 weeks rather than a week or rather than a couple of days, I think he's going to look to destroy that Kansas City Chiefs defense. And I just think the fact that this game is in Tampa Bay, they're the first team to host a Super Bowl. Tom Brady's highly motivated to win a Super Bowl without Bill Belichick. Oh, my goodness. I think everything's kind of aligned in Tampa Bay's favor. You look at the Chiefs' offensive line issues. I think that Tampa Bay, being that they're so blitz heavy, they're not going to have to blitz as much. I think they're going to be able to get pressure with their front four. And while that doesn't, you wouldn't think that would affect Pat Mahomes because of his scrambling ability. What I think will impact Kansas City in terms of their offensive game plan is, are they going to have enough time to look for those deep shots to Tyreek, to Travis Kelce up the seam? I don't think that their offensive line is going to buy Pat Mahomes enough time necessarily. And so I think that with Tampa Bay, they're definitely going to go after Pat Mahomes. They're going to use the run game to kind of establish an early lead, use play action to kind of build off of that. And then come fourth quarter, I mean, I think it's just destiny, bro. I think Tom Brady is meant to win this one.
So I also want to point out, I was looking at some stats here earlier, and like Mahomes, the way he's been beaten is by, I mean, the same way that you see a lot of quarterbacks get beaten is when you get pressure on him. He starts getting hit. Exactly. He starts, having to move around uncomfortably in that pocket, and he misses some passes, And so, I mean, he is human. He might be, a freak of nature, but he's still human. So you could get that pressure on him, and I think, like you said, Tampa does have the weapons on defense, on that defensive line, to do that. So
they got dogs on that defense.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, the amount of the name power there, from JPP to Sue to Shaq. So it's insane. Yeah, just so many
linebackers.
Yeah, they have an incredible defense. I mean, Kansas City has some great defensive players, but I just don't think they have as complete of a defense.
Nowhere near.
Yeah.
But if I may, if you don't mind me asking you a question real quick, so obviously you guys had a dominant, a very elite defense last year in San Fran. If you were to compare San Fran's defense from last year and Tampa's defense this year, no bias, I mean, without any bias, which defense is better, you think?
So I mean, that's complicated, right? Because like they run two different defenses. So like, right. Honestly, I mean, I respect the San Francisco players more because of the defense that they run is so complicated, so quick, fast paced that like you have to trust the athleticism of the players there to be able to recover. If they bite in on a run and it's a play action, because the way they run it, they have a lot of pressure up front. So you have to do that, which also puts a lot of pressure on the defensive backs to make plays because they don't have the help that they normally would from the linebackers. So I think that one is a more impressive one. But Tampa Bay's defense, it's more technically sound, right? Like it's the tactical, smart way to play. You take less risks. You have, people back there to defend. Your front four are getting that pressure. So, like, I mean, if I were building a team, I would want my team built like the Tampa Bay defense more so because, one player going down won't affect you as much as it would in San Francisco because you lose that talent that you're relying on compared to the schemes. So I like the Tampa Bay defense more as a whole.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to side with you. Just by a hair, though. Just by a hair.
Yeah, I mean, when the San Francisco defense is running smoothly, everyone's healthy, I mean, that's probably the best defense in the NFL. But like I said, you lose a player here or there, and you're just devastated by it.
As we saw this year with Nick Bosa and Solomon Thomas, falling in week 2 to torn ACLs. I mean, oof.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching a ton of tape on their defense last offseason, and I was in love with it. And then once those injuries happen and I saw, how it could affect it, it really opened my eyes to that because it is so predicated on the natural ability of these players there compared to putting players in the right spots for a play. So that's what kind of, opened my eyes to the shortcomings of that defense. All right. Yeah. I do want to ask you one more question, man. We're going to get over to some other people here in a minute, but first I got to ask, what your score prediction for this game is. And then I'm going to ask you one of these other questions I got here for prop bets. It's the Gatorade color. We got to know what color this Gatorade's going to be, man.
Hey, bro. So like I said in last night's show, you can still hear me, right?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I know you're out there building a new studio.
Yeah, but that's why I was a little silent earlier, because I was like, hold on, I muted my mic for a little bit. But so final score, like I said last night, expect a whole lot of fireworks, expect a whole lot of points, expect a whole lot of greatness, expect a whole lot of explosion. I know there's gonna be a little bit of rain, but I don't care. I think we're still gonna see, big plays, great plays on both sides of the football. But like I said, I see Tampa coming out on top. I think Tom Brady's going to lead another game-winning drive to win his 7th ring. I think it's a very close game. I'm going to say 34-33, Tampa Bay.
Nice. I have it 31-28 at Kansas City, but I'm rooting for Tampa. I think Tampa has all the weapons.
They do.
I think it's going to come down to special teams and defense, like who can get that ball at the end, in the fourth quarter, any key turnovers, things like that. So.
Exactly.
All right, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, man, it's all good, bro. Like I said, it's an honor to be on. I'm really appreciative. I'm super thankful. And like I told you, once I get my studio set up, bro, you're one of the guys on my list, bro. I'm gonna just check you off, but it really means a lot for me to for me to be on your show. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, man. All right, I really love Steezy. We're going to have to get together in person once this pandemic's over and do something for real in real life. But for now, we'll continue to do these things, get him on the show again for a full episode sometime. This last segment, man, I had a blast. We went way over our time. Some of the guys that I just love to hang out with. Virtually, of course, on the weekends and all the time, talk to these guys on the phone. And I just thought this would be a lot of fun. We're not going to do the whole football thing. You guys heard enough of that already. So we're going to get to some prop bets. And if you guys go to my Instagram, you can grab these prop bets off of there. I will post them on there. You can save them. So go Clock Management on Instagram. Grab these prop bets. You guys can do them at home. It'll be a lot of fun. What's up, everyone? We got a panel here. We're having a party. It's a Super Bowl party. So we're going to be going through some prop bets. So before we get to that, let me introduce everyone real quick. First, to my right, we got, Scott. From Nimble Numbers or the Fantasy Millionaires, right, Scott? Where can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm at 2 different places. I do DFS, which is the nimblewnumbers.com. I also have my friend Bo McBigtime who writes for me over there as well. Bo _ McBigtime, excuse me. He's awesome. He's a DFS expert. I know that Gemmo fucks with him. Bogard, you ever mess with Bo McBigtime?
No, not yet, but I'm putting it on the bucket list.
Dude, he makes something called the Hot Box brand hot sauce. It's hot as shit. It's delicious. I love it.
Yeah, I actually ordered some and I was putting it in my micheladas for a while.
Oh, that's right. You told me about this before, Justin. I actually seen you do this on Rad, actually.
Yeah.
It's fire, man. I love it. So he's over there with me at Nimble W Numbers, and then I also do a fantasy show that's a weekly for Redraft League. We wrapping up on Thursday with our Super Bowl show, which is like 2 days away. Shit. And sorry, can I cuss? Is that okay?
I'll edit it later. You're good.
Okay. Bleep. So you can find me over at thefantasymillionaires.com for redraft. Next year, 2021, we'll be coming out with our rankings, weekly. It'll be great. So check us out there.
Yeah. Gemmo, I'll let you go next.
Hi. That's it.
Yeah, Gemmo the icon. You can
just
find him. Yeah, you can. It's possible.
Yeah. If I will say this though,
He will find you.
if you want to follow me, know what the fuck I do. I'm sorry, I swore.
You're good. Like I said, I'll edit it.
Yeah, just know what I do. Don't follow me for the sake of following me, and all that other good stuff because I'm just here.
But just so I say, he's a great follow. So I mean, go ahead and follow him. Bogard, how about you?
Hey, you could find me at the GM Net. I messed up. I'm gonna try not to cuss so much that I messed up my own drop.
Don't worry, I'll edit it if you do.
I am Bogard Scott Free, and you can find me at the GMM Network on both IG and Twitter. And you can subscribe to the GMM Network on YouTube. And you can find our flagship show, The Real Fantasy Playmakers, on Spotify. Hey, Spotify, give me money.
Yeah, Bogard's been promising to be on his best behavior on the show. He's not going to swear. So I could see the focus. Well, I would say in your eyes, but I can't see your eyes. Go ahead, Jimmo.
I just want to say, Justin, thank you for doing this and inviting us here and inviting me, and this is great. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I thought, like, who are some people that we could just have a lot of fun with these props? And you three gentlemen came to mind immediately, so.
Yes. I have been known to get props.
Here we go.
Yeah, but not props like this. This a whole new level here. The first one, we're going to start off at the beginning of the game, guys, before the game even starts. We got Jasmine Sullivan and Eric Church doing the national anthem.
Cool. I love Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah, we need an over-under for 119.5 seconds for the national anthem, beginning to end.
Okay, so 119. So we're talking a minute and
2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, right under 2 minutes. Okay. I'm going over. You know why? Because people with soul, they drag things out longer, and it's beautiful. You know what I mean? Let's go. I'm going over.
Yeah.
Jasmine Sullivan got soul, bro.
How about Scott?
You know, I'm gonna concur. I looked it up, and the average national anthem time is 1 minute and 55 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's the average. You know, I mean, I don't know how long was Whitney's. Probably was longer. I'm guessing. You know, just
yeah.
You know,
it's when they get to the word "free" of the free. You know what I mean? And that can go. See, that's gonna make or break us right there. You know what I mean? That part. I'm going over.
You're blowing my eardrums out, man. You are.
My bad.
a long free. Yeah. I'm gonna go over. I like the over.
And I'm thinking with two people, it might go. You know, that might make it extend a little bit. You know, like they might try and outdo each other at the end.
Well, dueling pianos there type vibe.
Yeah. Jimmo.
Well, I'm gonna first say I have no idea who these two people are who are singing the anthem. I'm sorry. I'm really stuck in a hole out here. It's kids, it's my show, and then hopping on your show, and then work.
Yeah, I figured your little ones would be listening.
And Hitman Job.
To both.
Well,
well, you work out a lot. You put workout videos all over IG.
Yeah, it's all about the fitness. All about the fitness.
Yes.
But,
the national anthem is the only song on his workout playlist too. So.
Gathering the collective information here, and I'm assuming they're soul artists, correct? And I love soul, but I'm sorry, I'm ignorant and don't know these two fine people who are singing it. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the over as well on this, just because I'm just gonna go with it. That's it.
Yeah,
go with the over. Go with the over.
I mean, after the national anthem. Oh, go ahead, Jim.
If I may say, I want to put. I'm going to say 2 minutes, 11 seconds exactly for the national anthem.
I like it. He's like, let me raise the stakes.
Yeah.
I'll say 207 for me.
Yeah. I'm going 202.
I'm going to go a smidge over 2 minutes. We're going with 202. You know what I mean?
Nice. All right. We got next one. Right after the national anthem, right? We're going to get the coin toss. So we got a coin toss. What's heads or tails, guys? Go ahead.
I'm going tails.
Heads, man.
Yeah.
Heads all the way.
Scott?
Every time.
Yeah, it's heads. I mean, heads it plays.
I
It
feel-
always plays.
I feel
You know,
like heads is the rock of rock, paper, scissors, and so I'm going heads. Like rock never loses.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm the lone shark on this one, but I'm sticking with tails.
No, Jimbo's the lone. Oh wait, no, I see what you're
No, I
saying.
wouldn't
Yeah,
have.
he's the Shylock.
Wooden heads.
Okay. All right. Now in the game, I think the only one that's actually football related. Will there be a missed field goal or extra point?
Yes. Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, even the Chiefs kicker, you know, the Harrison Butker.
Yeah, the butt kicker.
Yeah.
Butt kicker. Yeah, he's missed some this year. Missed extra points.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely think so.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with no. I think they're gonna perform at this, and plus I think there won't be a lot of them, right? Just extra points. I think that's gonna be the biggest thing, because like, is Tampa Bay gonna kick a field goal going against?
Might even be going for 2.
Who's Tampa's kicker again? I forgot.
Brian
Suck up.
Yeah.
Suck up.
Arguably the 2 coolest kicker names, Butker and Suck Up.
That's like a DUI attorney.
That's funny.
Yeah, we'll run their commercial in the middle of this, actually.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Very good. I'm going to say that there is going to be 2. I'm going to be very precise here. 2 missed field goals, 1 missed extra point, which will cost a certain team the game.
Oh.
Well, I'm sorry, not the extra point. One of the missed field goals.
One of the missed field goals at the end. Oh.
It's kind of crazy because I like the under. I actually like the under in this game. You know, it's at 56.5. And if I like the under, that means there's going to be made field goals and stuff like that, rather touchdowns. But I also believe they probably go for 2 on a couple occasions. If
or
one
on
of
a
these
4th
teams,
down.
because sometimes these teams tend to pull away, right? Like if the Chiefs have a 2-possession lead, kicking the extra point goes out the window for, you know, and vice versa. If the Chiefs are down multiple possessions, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with no as well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
now,
to kind of piggyback off Bogart, I mean, I just, if I was a coach in the Super Bowl, I'm going for the points.
Yeah.
So give me the field goals, give me the extra points, unless you're that Green Bay coach who went for a field goal.
Yeah. No, that's Matt LaFleur, and I will say this: when I watched both of those games last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, the championship AFC and NFC, both times when they were in the red zone and they were not going for it. When Buffalo was not going for it, and when Green Bay was, we were hanging out with friends.
Right.
I was just like, no, oh my God, what are you? Oh my, you're ruining the game. Oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this. I was so
the Buffalo
Me
one
too.
killed me
I
a
was-
lot too.
Yeah, I was standing up, yell like, "Why?" And my wife is like, "Do you like either of these teams?" I'm like, "No, but it's just upsetting."
But here's the thing: going into the possession, it's 4th and goal from the 8. You have Aaron Rodgers, and you have an end zone right there. You're 8 yards away. What are you doing?
Yeah. As a Bears fan, I was utterly happy about this. Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to be a visionary, but I introduced a term in the vernacular. I'll put it out here too. It's called unteamable. I'm unteamable. I don't have a team. I used to be a Washington football team fan when they were called the Redskins.
So you went with the name?
I just
As the name went, you're like, I was a fan of the Redskins.
No.
There is no longer a Redskins team.
So I grew up in Washington, and I loved them, and I was in love with them. And then when Dan Snyder bought them, I was like, I don't like this guy. This is terrible. And I was a season ticket holder, and all of a sudden it was $8 for a beer, $8 for a bottle of water. You know, like 12-ounce waters. You're like, this. How did you get small water in here? So I would smuggle waters in my pants. I even did it. It's like, yeah. And so eventually,
you got to win to charge those numbers.
Yeah, right. And it was terrible. And so in 2000, after he ruined RG3 and that deal and everything, I just said, I'm done. I'm quitting. I love fantasy football. I've been ahead, so I'm just quitting. I didn't look back. So I call myself unteamable because I love great football, and so I want the Chiefs to win ultimately. But that's not because I like Kansas City better than I just that's who I want to win. I don't know. Like I'm not
because Mahomes is fun.
I mean, if Tom Brady wins, that's great too. Like I don't have an axe to grind with anybody. I just don't want to see a shitty football game like a couple years ago when the Rams played.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, played the Patriots.
Right.
And like, that goes down as like a defensive game. And like, it's like, well, the offenses were pretty bad too. So it's kind of like, was it a defensive game?
That's just how it gets chalked up because no one will say it was a bad game.
This could be the reason that Jared Goff is in Detroit, as Bogart actually predicted.
Good job.
Yeah, nailed that.
Well done.
I know, that was kind of crazy. It's the things I do when I'm activated on what is it called? Enhancements. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Ethical arrangements, Bogart?
Yes. Of the fungal type as well. You know what I mean?
Man. With that being said, watch Big Mouth season, whatever you want to watch it.
Love that show.
Enjoy some fungal experiments.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it is just, it's the best show I've ever seen.
Really? What's this called?
It's called Big Mouth. It's starring Nick Kroll, John Mulaney, Jordan Peele, Maya Rudolph.
Oh, word.
Yeah, and I believe it's on
They
Netflix.
got some names in there.
Yeah,
it's on Netflix?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And Netflix is not an official sponsor. We're just
Send the check. Send the check, Netflix. You owe me now.
Yes, Netflix, give me money.
Pennies.
So next prop here. This a real hard hitting one right here. The primary color of Tony Romo's tie. Yeah.
Purple.
Nice.
Do we have odds here, or is it just colors?
I had odds. I removed them. I'm like, you know what?
Okay, I'm gonna go with salmon. Does salmon count as pink?
Yeah, kind
Yeah,
of.
I would
right?
count pink as salmon. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'll
So I'm
combine
going
them.
with the salmon pink elk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he seems like a dude that would be like, I could pull this off. You know what I mean?
That's why I thought he could do purple too.
Yeah,
exactly.
I could imagine.
Good point.
One of those,
Since it is the Super Bowl, right, and this is like the big gala, if you will.
Yes.
I was kind of thinking about it and leaning towards a black tie affair and all that other stuff. But I'm gonna go with the trend here. That gray metallic. Maybe.
Nice.
Gray metallic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a dark cowboy blue.
Oh,
Not quite the navy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Like
Wait, hold on. Is this one of those clock management things you be doing because you'll be like, if it ends up being blue, you're like, well, since I gave you salmon and pink, I said blue. It's all the blues. You know what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely.
He's covering all the blues here.
that he is.
You're on to me.
Purple and pink and blue and gray. So there's,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roy G. Biv.
Now watch him show up with a yellow tie.
Hey, by the way, who did not know before this year that Tony Romo's name was Antonio Ramiro Romez? Romo. I didn't know that. Did he?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
Nah.
I had no clue.
If
He's
he
a-
played these days, he would have the hyphenated jersey. It would
Right.
be Vermeer's Romeo or whatever. Or, you know what I mean?
I didn't know he was Espanol.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Great.
Mom is-
No.
Well, I only know that because I've seen his football life documentary.
Yeah.
Where he's real proud of his heritage. He's
Okay.
being of a Hispanic descent.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
think it's super cool. I just
never-
didn't learn about it until this year.
yeah.
And
Wow.
I'm glad, or this past, during this past season. And I'm glad I did. Congratulations, Antonio Ramiro Romo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey.
Man, I love it, brother.
Maybe he doesn't even come through with the tie, huh?
Right.
He's gonna come,
No
just like
tie.
come through
A gold
unbuttoned.
chain.
Yeah, just a gold chain
And a fur coat.
and a fur coat.
Rod Burgundy.
Well, he's going
Who's the
full
other guy
poncho.
with?
Oh
Who's
man.
the other guy? Is it Joe Buck?
No, it's
no, I
damn,
I
what's
actually
dude's
had
name?
it. Yeah, Nance, Jim Nance.
Yeah, Jim Nance. Yeah, I love Jim Nance.
I miss the days of John Madden and Pat Summerall.
Yeah, oh man.
Oh, that's throwback. Monday nights.
Love those.
I was
man.
a kid, dude.
Oh, I love those. Word.
That was Monday nights, right?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, Monday
exactly.
Night Football.
I-
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I remember watching that. We would watch football, then I'd watch Monday Night Raw. You know what I mean? Because they used to come on at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm in the West Coast.
They were actually CBS, I believe, before that, or Fox.
That's right.
Before ESPN, yeah.
Yeah, before they went to Monday night. They
went to Fox before ESPN too. That's right.
Yeah, they're my favorite, man. I love them. And Pat Summerall was sloshed during some of those games. The late games, he'd be like, my man. And John Madden would be like, oh, but that's football.
Which
You know,
is
like,
exactly
boom,
why I'm
tough acting
pre-recording
connected.
this, because
Yeah,
otherwise
you know-
I would be.
Scott, you and Ralph actually kind of remind me of Summerall and Madden a little bit.
you know what? That's a compliment. I'll take
No,
it. I
yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
definitely. Love both of you guys. Thanks.
I appreciate it. I'm quite the character, I've been told. And you know what? That's just, I'm letting my light shine bright, letting your star burn. You know, it's what you only got a little bit of time. And
Yeah, you
can
burn
tell me
bright,
you're-
not long.
Yeah, right. You know, I'm not gonna.
Hey man, I feel like I'm destined to go out like that, like a supernova. You know what I mean? I'm gonna blow up, and then I'll be a dwarf star after. You know what I mean?
I'll take it. You know what? I just want to blow up with all my friends. Like that's what I want to do.
Right?
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's how I roll. So
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
just want people to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I don't care for the followers because I really what I want, and I'm sorry to kind of steer this away from your thing here, Justin.
I wanted to brought you guys on if I wanted to stay on topic.
Yeah. So
He brought all three of the guys.
Yeah,
over.
yeah. This is gonna be this. I'm gonna just tell my show to hold on a little bit. They can wait. I run it. I'm the boss. It's funny because you've got me for example. I've got 900 something followers on the Twitter and whatever on the Instagram, but you got the YouTube page. I got up to like 3 something now, which is great.
Yeah,
I love
awesome.
it, But why isn't it
100%? Yeah, right.
Or
I
at
wonder
least
that a lot.
95?
Like, a lot of the people who follow me on Twitter, I'm like, I put out content, right?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's kind of what I do.
That's why I was against this whole follow me train. And listen, I love it because it started me out to get to know each and every one of you guys here because we actually interact with each other and like each other and like each other's posts and just support each other. But just a follow for a follow. Oh my God, I'm sorry
For the sake of it.
right? Like, I could care less if someone follows me if they never interact with me.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, if that's the case, then get a bunch of bots. You know what I mean? And make it look like
Yeah, I
it
mean,
because
you can-
essentially that's what it is. It just looks like a following, but if they're not really engaging, it's technically
I'm
not a
sure
following.
if you go ahead and Google buy YouTube or Twitter followers, India will come up, and you never know. I mean, there may be some people out there who do that. I don't know.
They may have a Black Friday deal going on or something.
Yeah, something like that. Something
For real.
and to be honest, I Googled it today, actually, today, just to see what it was. So there was this one site that it was going to give you 100 views or something, or 100 followers on Instagram or YouTube or whatever it was for $3, right? $2.99. But it's a monthly subscription thing, so to keep it active. Other sites, they were the best ones, and blah blah blah. $60 for 50 followers, but these followers actually interact with whatever you're posting.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would people do this? Why?
That's
I'm trying to lose followers.
I mean, you know what's crazy is
If you
people
want
they
me to
want
follow
to.
me, if you want me to follow you, pay me. I'll follow you, no problem. No problem.
See,
and I'll interact.
that's where the money is. Pay me, I'll follow and comment on every single one of your posts every day for a subscription of $1.50 a week.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's crazy. But I mean, those
For
accounts
less than
who
a
do.
cup of coffee, you can sponsor Gemma.
Those accounts
coffee.
who do
Less
that will.
than a 7-Eleven cup of
All right. I'm gonna get us back on track now, guys. I got the next
The
one.
accounts who do that will get eventually they'll
Yeah,
catch
and
up
I don't
to
care
them.
if they do
whatever
or
you
not.
don't send money to India.
But-
That's my take.
All right, so at halftime we got the Weeknd performing. What is going to be the first song from The Weeknd performed?
I don't know any of the Weeknd songs, but I know of the Weeknd, so that's a plus.
Whatever
his most popular one is. What's that one?
I'm probably gonna go with Blinded by the Light's probably gonna be like
His finisher, I think.
yeah. Damn, he has a ton of songs.
Starboy. I think I'll start with Starboy. Why wouldn't you start the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's kind of hype.
Starboy.
I forgot to pull it up, so I just covered the screen for a second. My mistake.
A personal favorite.
I actually have
a personal favorite
of
mine.
A list of his top songs, like what the betting favorites are here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got Blinding Lights,
Yeah.
Heartless, In Your Eyes, Starboy, Can't Feel My Face, Pray
There it
For
is.
Me,
That's the one.
or Field.
Can't feel my face. I'm putting money on it. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm like,
You know,
Jim,
that song is what he is all about. But you want to know what The Weeknd is to me, fellas? The Weeknd is Michael Jackson if he talked about cocaine and fornicating with women.
Wow.
Right.
Next time you listen to The Weeknd, you'll be like, that's Michael Jackson.
Look what you've done.
Talking about cocaine and fornicating with women.
my wife was talking about some cosmetic surgery he had recently, I guess.
Oh.
Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, he looks like a whole different guy now.
So a question. I am familiar with The Weeknd. I know who he is. I don't know any of his songs. What's the earliest song that you have in what year?
No idea. So I don't really listen to him.
The first time I heard of him was back in 2011.
Out of all these songs,
Yeah,
which
I
is
don't know the
oldest,
order of
do you
them,
think?
but I do know the song "Can't Feel My Face."
Okay.
So I'm going
Is that
with
his
that
most
one.
popular song?
I'm gonna
It
say
was a real-
yes,
it was a
because
smash
I know
hit.
it.
All the songs he listed, to be honest, they were all hits. They're all charted.
Now, does he have a new album out currently?
No, not necessarily.
Okay,
It came
so
out
I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that he's gonna end his show.
No,
His
first
performance.
one.
What's that?
How's he
first
starting
one.
the show?
Yeah, but how many songs is he doing now?
We don't
He's
know.
gonna do like anywhere from like 15 to 17 minute set. I'm
So
imagining.
like 3 or
Okay.
4 songs.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna say his last song, right, will be his most popular song.
Probably be Blinded by the Lights. That's like the whole
And then
NFL. They've been using it all year.
His first song, here we go. His first song is gonna be a cover.
He's not doing a cover. Come on.
Michael Jackson cover, man.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Ooh.
Paying some homage to whoever played in the.
Hey, Michael
Super Bowl
Jackson did the
before.
Super Bowl before too, so he might come out doing some Michael Jackson. Okay, I kind of like that.
Okay.
Make the phone call.
You get it here first on Clock Management, folks.
Right?
Right.
Scott, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my favorite, which is Starboy. I think that he's gonna start with that because I think it's just it's a trendsetter. You know, it is kind of who he is. Like you said, Bogart, he is that Michael Jackson type, bigger than life. And in Starboy, he kills himself. He becomes. It's like an origin song. So.
Yeah.
A song to kind of announce on the Super Bowl stage, this is me, this is what I did, this is who I am, and then go through whatever he's going to do. I think you're right. I think he ends with Blinding Lights. That's just a great. That's one of my favorite songs this year. So
Yeah, that song is dope.
his whole album, here's what I do with an artist. Once I find a song I like, I go to YouTube, I get the whole album, I just listen to the whole album in sequential order. And dude, that's a great album.
I'm super old, so I actually go find physical CDs and buy them, and then that's how I listen
Just to have them.
Yeah, and I will listen to it from start to finish for an entire week.
Yeah, you have to. It's how you got to listen to it nonstop. So.
You want to know what's crazy? I'm like, people before my time were, before vinyl got back like popular. Back when I was young, they'd be like, vinyl, the sound it just can't be duplicated on a CD. And now when I hear stuff on streaming sites, I'm like, the CDs even sounded better. You know what I mean? Like, because now a lot of music is mixed. Like I'm a sound engineer. So like a lot of music is mixed these days because people are consuming it in headphones 90% of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So yeah,
it's like
made for that.
Yeah.
now.
So it's a totally different mix. You know what I mean? From what and just the sound, the like vinyl is like warm, you know what I mean? Like, and then CD quality was like 16-bit. CD quality was always like mastered, like freaking you loved it, you know what I mean? Oh, like what is it? Digitally mastered. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Then now it's like you have this kind of makeshift MP3 type. You know what I mean? That's different.
Yeah.
All
right. We got 2 more, guys.
Ooh, let's go. So that means we'll be out of here in 10 minutes.
Yeah. The first one. A lot of people have prop bets, right? And they want to know who you think is going to get the MVP award. I don't care. It's going to be one of the 2 quarterbacks, okay? So you just pick the quarterback of whichever team you think is going to win. But I got a different prop. It's the first person or the person that wins the MVP. Who is the first person that they thank in their speech? Now, I got some options for you here. We got teammates, including the coach. We got God, family, or healthcare workers.
Wow.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna go with. First of all, I want the Chiefs to win as it stands right now. I feel like I'm still on that stance, but I will say the safer bet is if Brady wins in his MVP speech, he always thanks his family first.
Right.
His mom and dad, his wife, his kids, and then I don't even think he ever gets to thanking God. To be honest, you know what I mean?
I don't think he's that type.
I don't think so either.
I can't. It doesn't stick out in my memory at all.
Yeah.
No, but it's always my family. Hey, where's my family?
I mean, we all saw the ring Patrick Mahomes got for his. Is it his wife or his fiance? I'm not sure if they got married yet.
Not sure.
I believe it's his fiance.
They didn't have a kid though.
Yeah, and so I'm like, man, I feel like he'd think his family first.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with family.
Wow.
I'm going to go Chief, but I think that Patrick Mahomes thanks his teammates because, I think somebody makes a big play and then he's just like, I got to thank, Tyreek, or I got to thank Kelsey, or I got to thank, whoever, or his coach, or maybe it's his coach, who's there next to him. It's number 2. It all comes out like how they frame it. Like if it's Tom Brady, what's number 7 feel like? Probably is what they ask him. Number 7, how do you feel? Or if it's you just beat Tom Brady. This is your second. How do you feel? So maybe it's just about himself, and maybe it's an introspection, reflection about them, and not about thanking anybody. But I don't know.
So I'm going to go 2 ways here. One for Brady, one for Mahomes. Right? If Brady wins, I'm going to say Brady's going to thank his teammates first. It's a completely brand new team to him.
Good point.
Mahomes, if Mahomes wins, I feel he's going to thank God. I feel that he's more on the godly, or
he's God-fearing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And
one of those things.
I want to say how I do this is with the prop bets with my friends. We when we have some sort of Super Bowl party, we make Jello shots for our Super Bowl party, and you're taking a Jello shot for every one you get wrong.
Wow,
that's fun.
Yeah. So throughout these are fun because they go throughout the game. So you're throughout the game, like everyone during the super halftime show, everyone's watching. Like, oh my God, what song is he opening with?
Yeah, that's interesting.
You should bring everybody back here, Justin, and we should all have shots of tequila just lined up.
Oh,
and I'm sure we can go back and see who was wrong, who was right, and it will just do shot after shot after shot.
I think we can see that because I want to say there's a video that we'll be able to watch.
Yeah. On CD.
I'll go to Blockbuster and get the DVD.
Yeah, let's do that.
Blockbuster. That's
I still have my membership.
Yeah.
Okay. I owe them money still.
And I'm also going to I'm gonna get through this last one first. The color of the Gatorade. It's a classic one, and
the one that they dump over the coach, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yeah.
Which keeps people watching all game long, trying to see what color Gatorade's in people's cup.
I feel like yellow and orange is like the go-to.
Yeah, orange is. I remember this from last year. I did a bunch of research on this, and orange is the most common color a Gatorade that they have. followed by yellow.
Orange is quite
I
delicious.
want to say
too, that's
red
what I
is
might
the
say.
least common.
I'm gonna say it's red because both these teams are red. So
That's
one
true.
of them I don't like red.
Oh.
One of them. So you got a 50-50 chance it's red. That's what I'm going. I'm going red.
I'm gonna go with the classic lemon lime green.
Ooh.
Classic.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I said yellow. That's what I meant. The lime.
Well,
the lime
yellow and
green.
green are two totally different colors, Bogart.
I'm just saying. Hold on.
Yellow and
I'm
green.
sticking with mine. Mine is orange.
like
I'm
See,
going with
see,
orange.
UC's trying to pull a clock management there.
Yes.
Roy G. Biv.
That's another callback.
I'm gonna take a shot on this one, right? A flyer here, and I'm going purple.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I love the grape.
Wow.
Cross.
Hey, I'll tell you this much, brothers. They love that. They love the purple Gatorade. I'll tell you that much.
And also, so we got I'm gonna make a printable
It's a fact.
version of these props for everyone and put it. You guys could go to my Twitter or my Instagram. It'll be on there Sunday morning, so you guys could grab it from there, print
Fill
it
it out
off.
for my family.
Yeah, right. That's what I
Yes.
like to do. I
There we
print them
go.
off, give them to everyone who I do hang out with. This year it'll
Like,
just be
nice.
my wife, and I'm gonna be trying to convince her to take shots, and I'll
My
probably end
kids
up
are gonna
taking
get so
hers.
drunk.
You're like,
Not
yeah,
again.
yeah, drink nerd.
I have a video of my daughter on Instagram about 5 years ago, maybe 6, when she was like 1.5, and I poured a beer and it had a bunch of foam on top. It was right to the top, and she's like, "Daddy, that's too much." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "It's too much." She's like, "It's so much." So yeah. Somebody
Oh,
was
that's
right.
awesome.
So much beer,
Yeah.
Well, again, I thank you guys for coming, joining the party here.
One more thing.
Okay, go ahead, Jimmo.
Are you
is
not
yours.
going to ask us who's going to win the game?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Who cares? Who cares about who wins this, right?
I know. I care about all these props, man.
Yeah, let's get it.
Okay.
Jim will go ahead and start.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Tampa Bay is gonna win this because of Tom Brady, and I just want to see, because I live out here in New England now currently, and I just want to see the faces of everybody out here. Okay, with Brady and Gronk over there, and well, AB for one game.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me just see their faces, and that's that.
I like that. Now
So
I
Tom
want
Brady.
Brady to win too. Oh shoot.
Yeah, Bogart.
I'm still gonna stick with my Chiefs pick, and for everyone that's going for the Bucks, that means the Bucks are gonna win now. Because the moment I settle in on that team, I'm jinxing that team for some reason this year. It's just I've been the guy this year.
You're
Hey,
moving
yeah,
the line.
ask Jared Goff.
I'm moving the line.
Moving the line. You gotta have the line movers, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone back and forth. I was gonna go Tom Brady, and then I was gonna go the Chiefs. Now I'm going. It's all over the place.
It really is.
I think the Chiefs win. I think they have a better offense. I watched the game again just to kind of watch what happened the first time they met. Tom Brady did throw like 3 interceptions.
Right.
Yep.
And he did not look great when he got pressured. So if they can pressure him, that will be a difference maker. And then they also ran the ball well with Ronald Jones. So if they can establish a running game and kind of just run, look, I think they can score a lot of points. So the Bucks could definitely win, but I don't think you're going to stop everybody on the Chiefs. There's just too many weapons that Pat Mahomes has. So I think they're going to win. I think it's going to be like 31-28. Like maybe like somebody said, a field goal missed at the end or a big play. It's going to be a great game. I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I feel like the Chiefs are like, it's not so many weapons you can't stop. It's just one. It's Patrick Mahomes. You can't stop him.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing. I feel like he can score at will. You know, he's just toying with everyone. And then he's like, you know what? I'm a win now. And that
and
seems to be the case. And like, I mean, I don't want to bet against either of these guys, right? Like, no one wants to bet against the GOAT, and no one wants to bet against Mahomes either in his current
The
state.
future goat.
Yeah.
On his road to goatness.
Yeah, right. So I mean, I'm
goatery.
rooting for Tampa Bay as a 49er fan, just because I'm still bitter.
It's so sad because even for me being a Niner fan, I always claimed Brady because that was his team growing up.
Yeah.
So like in the years that we were bad, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like, and everyone hated the Patriots.
Yeah,
so
you're
I
like
would
we're at 11 Super Bowls if you include
Yeah.
Brady's.
Oh yeah. I claim Rodgers too, but because same scenario. He grew up a Niner, but Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're claiming Brady this one. If we win, you'll see me switch so fast. Like, yeah, Tom.
All right. Well, again, I appreciate you guys coming through.
One more thing.
Curve it, Jimmo.
And
Let's
then,
go.
I mean, you didn't think you were going to get away with just a few minutes of us three here.
well, I know I was actually trying to keep it short for your expense.
No, I know. I got time. I got 10 minutes. We're okay. So, who do you think, out of these two players, who would most likely win the MVP? Both are former Pittsburgh Steelers, now on different teams. Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, the more likely,
more likely to win.
it would be Antonio Brown because Le'Veon Bell's like kind of non-existent.
Yeah.
And it's the they're the number one run defense for the majority of the league. And at minimum, they were like number 3. You know, the Buccaneers. So, you know, that's why I've leaned Antonio Brown there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had like 4 games in a row with a touchdown.
Yeah, he got hot at the end there.
Yeah, and I don't know the last time Le'Veon Bell did that.
The last Super Bowl Tom Brady was in was that ugly one we referred to earlier, but the one guy, the one constant in that whole game was Julian Edelman, and he ended up being the MVP. So this has been in Brady's history to, you know what I mean, have a receiver that wins the MVP. But no matter what, they're going to give it to the GOAT, you know what I mean, if he wins.
Yeah, well, one of the GOATs.
Yeah, like I said, whichever quarterback wins this is getting MVP.
Right.
Game of goats.
Yes. Just throw a bunch of tin cans out there. See who eats them the fastest.
Yeah.
Goats eat cans, apparently.
Goats eat anything.
It's true.
Yeah.
This is accurate.
All right. Well, once again, thank you guys for joining.
Hold on, I got one thing.
Go ahead.
I just want to say thanks. I just wanted to curve it. Like, I wanted to mess with you.
I appreciate you guys coming on, giving me some time.
Thank you, sir, for having us.
Yeah, I will definitely tag all of you links to your guys' social media down in the description, so all of you out there can find these fine gentlemen. All right. Well, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys Super Bowl Sunday.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Boom.
Yeah.
Go football.
All right.
Peace.
Awesome. What up? Thank you guys for joining us for our Super Bowl show. Make sure you guys go over to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network, and you guys, I'll be on their show later today. And also, I'm going to be on Smitty's show here shortly as well. So you could catch me on both of those. But make sure you turn into that Rumboyz Show. We'll be giving away an autographed Kenyon Drake jersey during that show. So tune in, and I'll see you guys over there.